Hi everyone, Steve back with another update on how things are going with this keto diet. I think it's going well. I just had some tuna fish and cheese not too long ago. I think I need to make sure I have enough fat though. I read an article that said I should not add too much chicken to my diet because chicken is actually a much leaner meat than some of the other meats like beef. So I have a bunch of chicken too. I need to mix the chicken with fats, or maybe I'll cook it up using some olive oil and herbs. That way I make sure the fats are there. Because that's what it's all about with this keto diet. Making sure I get 60 to 70% of my calories, my energy, from fat. Then 20 plus in protein and maybe just a trace amount of carbs. I've read there's no way to remove all carbs entirely. Well, it is 8:30, January 18, 2019. I went ahead and took my readings. I'll share with you. My blood sugar has gone down ever so slightly. So it was at 191. And now it is 171. I would expect that to go down through the night. I did check the keto meter, and not as much, the ketones, not as much as the previous. Right there now, which registers small. So, I don't know. I did have a great workout, just like I said I would. I went ahead and pushed myself. I did some HIIT training, really got the heart rate up, and that's what I need more of. Just bursts of activity with rest in between. That's what the HIIT training is, at high intensity interval training. I put a really good app on my iPad. It is an interval training app, and I'll just give you an example. You can do 10 seconds of really fast squats or jumping in the air, whatever you want to do. 10 seconds of that, followed by 30 seconds of just kind of marching in place. And then 10 seconds of squats, and then another 30 seconds of marching in place. And you have to do this for at least 10 minutes straight, where there's this app that counts down the 10 seconds while you're doing the squats, and then it starts over another countdown for 30 seconds for walking, and it will alternate that for you. I use an iPad, so I get it from the Apple Store. I don't know if they have one for Android. They might have something like that for PC, I don't know. Or you could just use a stopwatch. But it's 10 seconds of intense work, followed by 30 seconds of just moving, not, allowing your heart rate to drop. As I've said, the only concern that I've had is with my blood sugar. I do not want to get into this ketoacidosis, because I've actually had that before and I went into the hospital. That's why I've said in my previous videos, I do not want to go back to the hospital. One of the things that they knew I was in ketoacidosis because they could smell the sugar on my breath. You have so much sugar in your system, your body, your body is not processing it, so you end up breathing it out. Interesting enough, a ketone tester that's available is one that you can blow into, like a breathalyzer, because once you are in ketosis and you're solidly in ketosis, to test how you're doing, you can test the ketones that you breathe out. So if your body is saturated with ketones, you start breathing them out. If your body's saturated with sugar, you start breathing it out. The difference is the sugar is harmful for you, whereas the ketones are beneficial. As one doctor had said, ketones is a cleaner fuel for your body. So cleaner in being that you're going to have less free radicals, and ketones do not damage your organs just like sugar does. Another interesting fact that I picked up on is that cancer cells do not survive on ketones. They survive on glucose or blood sugar. So if you have cancer, for example, or if you think you're prone to cancer, you want to get on the keto diet. And there's a lot of this research online. This is where I found it. The scientists actually knew that starving cancer of glucose a long time ago, they knew this a long time ago, starving cancer of glucose kills the cancer cells. Well, that's it for me for today. I'm actually tired. I did work out pretty hard. I'm going to have to do something about the amount of testing I'm doing. My fingers, the amount of pricks that I'm giving my fingers every 3-4 hours is starting to make my fingers raw. So I know I want to do a blood test in the morning. I think the best times to do the blood tests would be if I just broke everything down to twice a day. Once in the morning and once at 5:30 prior to my workout. Because it's obvious I work out, my blood sugar is going to drop. So the 5:30 number, which it definitely gives a few hours since the last time I ate, which would be around noon. So that's what I'm planning tomorrow. I'm going to do the blood tests in the morning, which they call a fasting blood test, and I'm going to do another one at 5:30. I still may check in at the noontime and, of course, at the end of the day. What I want to do is get a camera set up so I can prepare some of these great keto recipes that I found. Perhaps by making these delicious looking foods, maybe some of you out there might want to get on this keto diet. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back in the morning. You have a good night.